start not only wishing you a very good morning, but complimenting and congratulating the chairman and the entire team of Surat branch for organizing and hosting such a wonderful conference for 2 days, and that too in Surat, and that too so many members physically present on a Sunday morning, when normally we chartered accountants get only this day to enjoy, relax with the family. But compliments to you that you have chosen to forget the family and chosen the profession. And that's what my fundamental aspect with regard to the talk of today's. Yesterday, Secretary Ashwin mentioned about the paradigm shift. And let me initially therefore take you to the reality of our profession in practice. Honorable President yesterday mentioned with regard to 4 lakh plus members that we have today in the institute. When I was the president in 2007, the total membership was 14, 15, 16. That is 1,41,516. 1949, we had 29 members. From 1949 to 2007, 1,45,000. From 2007 to 2023, 4,45,000. Imagine the potential, the growth, and the development, not only in the profession, but also in the professionals. So what happens? Larger the group, larger the competition. And larger the competition, there are sacrifices, there are surrenders, there are compromises. And that sometimes brings a bad name to the profession. And therefore, we here are to see that the noble profession, I would say the most noble profession in the world, for we all chartered accountants are proud of, should have our flag flying very high so far as ethical standards are concerned and images are concerned. And therefore, what to do? Let me tell you the ground realities that yes, time has come now. The traditional practice will almost vanish or die. आप सबको नवाई लगेगी. अब WhatsApp पे circular flow हो रहे हैं. File your return in income tax for 99 rupees. 99 rupees में लोग return file कर रहे हैं online, non-chartered accountants. And therefore, a chartered accountant will also think that if somebody is filing for 100 rupees, let me file it for 1,000 rupees. When in fact, we should never compromise for the fees. Be it filing of return, be it assessment proceeding, be it TDS compliances, or be it entire GST registration to compliance and litigation. But what the ground realities we have to accept, and as a past president, consciously I'm saying, what has happened that because of the tremendous growth in the membership, people have started compromising so far as the fees are concerned. And when they compromise for the fees, sometimes they compromise even in their ethical standards. And therefore, it is very important, friends, to appreciate that yes, why just focus ourselves only in our country? The world has now become a global village. As mentioned by Bhavin, forget chartered accountants. First, think of our other industrialists. If Tata can buy Jaguar from UK, if my dear friend Pankaj Patel of Zydus can buy 27 companies in USA and UK, why not chartered accountant firm from India buy overseas partnerships? That should be our aim, that should be our goal. But we are not even thinking on that line. We feel I am happy here. आज से 30 साल पहले मैंने इंडिया टुडे में आदित्य बिरला का आर्टिकल पढ़ा था और उसे लिखा था कि why Marwadis are so successful in the business. And he had mentioned that Marwadis never stick and love and stick with their मिट्टी and माँ. बाकी सब माँ का पल्लू नहीं छोड़ते हैं और अपनी मिट्टी नहीं छोड़ते हैं. नहीं, मैं तो अहमदाबाद में हूँ, मैं अहमदाबाद में ही रहूँगा. भले तकलीफ पड़े, भले प्रैक्टिस कम हो, भले रिसीट्स कम हो. But I have seen that so far as Surat is concerned, hundreds and thousands of chartered accountants have come from Rajasthan, from Haryana, and from Madhya Pradesh. Now, if you can transfer yourself, migrate yourself from Rajasthan to Surat, and from Haryana and Madhya Pradesh to Surat, now why don't you think that I should migrate from India to abroad? There's a larger practice, larger growth. And take it from me. For the first time, I came to Surat yesterday, because yesterday was the 4th Saturday. And after 45 years of my practice, I started giving second and fourth Saturday off because that is the culture developing now everywhere, not only in Mumbai but even in Ahmedabad. That article clerks want second and fourth Saturday off. Some of them are asking all 4 Saturdays off. Now that's the change in mindset, that's the change in expectations. Now, if that be the case, you imagine what is now happening in European countries and foreign countries. Now they want to work only up to Friday, and they want Friday half day. And CPA there, chartered accountants there, on Friday afternoon are eager to go on dates rather than work in the office. And we chartered accountants don't mind working even on Saturday late night and finish the job so that Monday we are fresh without any carry forward of the load. That's the fundamental difference between our blood, our nature, our DNA. Work hard, work sincerely, and try to see how maximum we can make the money. See all NRIs who are in India, आपके कई दोस्त होंगे जिन्होंने होटल ली, छोटा सा गैस स्टेशन लेके चालू किया और आज 10, 15 गैस स्टेशन हो गए, hotels हो गए, motels हो गए. Working sincerely from morning to night, they are able to save and they are able to generate millions of money. That's the now tendency in foreign countries that even they now in USA, Australia, Canada, they don't get chartered accountants, youngsters to join this profession. There's a tremendous vacuum there. And that vacuum should be filled up by Indian chartered accountants. I'm happy that senior chartered accountants are also here, who should now, like me, plan for retirement. But still they have come here to appreciate and understand what are the global opportunities. And that is because if not me, my son or my junior partner should think of going abroad. And that's the fundamental aspect with regard to the development and growth of practice. So first you have to change your mindset, be prepared. Whether I want to stick to my mind mitti or I want to go abroad. There may be domestic issues, that my child is only 2 years or my son is in 12th. My wife is also working, what she will do there if I transfer. But then try first fundamentally that bold decision that for 2, 3, or 5 years, let me sacrifice this family life and let me grow my practice. Let me develop and let me see the world. Open your wings. And if that decision is set in your mind, you will be in a position to take a bold decision that yes, India is not my cup of tea. I am being called, I am being waited, I am being eagerly awaited abroad to hand over the practice. Yesterday, Aniket was mentioning with regard to his visit to Africa and Ivory Coast. After all the functions, when over a young chartered accountant came and met him, sir, I'm very impressed with this, that. So let us go to this mine. So Aniket says, how far it is? It is just 500 miles from here. Aniket said, I don't have time, I'm going tomorrow morning. Then he said, I have my own plane. We'll go in the plane and come back. Imagine a chartered accountant having his own plane. And let me tell you, no chartered accountant in India, as per my knowledge, is having his own plane. Only one chartered accountant in Mumbai is having his own yacht, like Mukesh Ambani is having. And he has to park that yacht in Dubai. So when I met him, I asked, are you able to use it? He bought it for heavy depreciation because in that 2, 3 years he earned a lot of money. So he bought the yacht. But you are not able to use it. But if you are in abroad, you can buy yachts, you can buy aircraft, you can buy latest of the cars and facilities. And that's not the only goal that you earn money, but you have tremendous satisfaction of your profession, of your knowledge, of your expertise that are being appreciated and rewarded appropriately in the foreign countries. So this is the background I wanted to tell to you. That entire profession is totally moving in a different line. Just, I don't know how many of you were fortunate, I would use the word, enough to attend the World Congress in November in Mumbai. First time in history, Institute started giving stalls to chartered accountant firms. The highest rent was 50 lakhs of rupees. There were 5 stalls and all 5 were booked. And there were other stalls who were 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh. तो छोटा स्टॉल हमारे जैसे छोटे से ने भी लिया था. But first time, there were stalls given by for chartered accountants. And mind well, the conference was being attended only by chartered accountants, no businessmen, no trader, or anyone involved in industry. Still, there were demand of stalls. And therefore, see the difference in 1 year. The GLOPEC, which you are seeing now, which will be held now in 25, 26 November at Gandhinagar, Matru Mandir. They opened 50 stalls for 50 lakhs of rupees. And in June 15th, all 50 lakh stalls are booked. See the strength of chartered accountants. And see the mindset of chartered accountants. हमारा सबका mindset क्या है? पहले फी आने दो. फी आएगी बाद में खर्चा करेंगे. अब mindset क्या करना है? पहले खर्चा करो. खर्चा करोगे तो फी आएगी. So you have to change your mindset. We are not accustomed to it. चलो कुछ मिले नहीं, स्टॉल लगा दिया, कोई आए नहीं, मेरा तो 10 लाख गया पानी में. Don't think that. मैं 10 लाख का स्टॉल ले रहा हूँ, 5 लाख का स्टॉल ले रहा हूँ. मैं मेरी फर्म की एक्सपर्टाइज क्या है, हम कितने पार्टनर हैं, हम क्या क्या सर्विस दे रहे हैं. Let other young chartered accountants, let other veterinary people know. And when they want your service, they will first come to you. So that's the platform available. So that's why I would suggest, not as a marketing person for GLOPEC, but attend such international conventions, and you will realize where the world is going, where the people are traveling, how fast they are traveling. And second most important thing, after COVID, we all have learned that there is no need physically to move from Surat to Mumbai or from Surat to Ahmedabad or to Rajkot. Sitting in your office, you can provide best of the services to anybody in India. We have clients from Bangalore and Bhopal, to whom we are serving from Ahmedabad. Earlier, it was just not possible to even think and imagine. Now, if that is possible, it is equally possible now to serve a foreign client in Africa or in Uganda or in UK or in USA sitting in India also. So I will take you to both the aspects. First, shifting yourself physically abroad. Second, doing services, providing services and your expertise sitting in India to foreign clients. So with that, let me take to you the next slide. In fact, when I was invited, I was asked that, sir, would you like to have PowerPoint presentation? And those of you who have heard me earlier, I'm always accustomed to speak extemporaneous, looking at your eyes. So I told him that PowerPoint presentation are for those who don't have power in their presentation. So why you want me to do that? But then I realized, and yesterday it was mentioned, what's happening in institute and what is happening in profession is technology, technology, and technology. So if you don't move at the age of 72 also with technology, you will be asked by junior partners to retire as early as possible. And therefore I thought, let me take some attempt on this PowerPoint presentation also. So as a chartered accountant, as you know, we have skills, knowledge, and expertise. The opportunities for CAs are broad and diverse, exciting from working with multinational corporations to startups. There is no shortage of options. Whether you are interested in finance, technology, or healthcare, there are opportunities to apply your skills and knowledge in new context. And that's what you have to again ask yourself. If doctors from India can go abroad, if nurses from India can go abroad, if businessmen can go from India, if hoteliers can go outside India, why not chartered accountants? Why stick to India only? Chartered accountants from India have numerous opportunities. And what are these? Yeah. So, thank you. Thank you. So, international accounting firms, you go abroad in Dubai, all big firms, forget Deloitte, KPMG, EY, and PW, but there are 6, 7 other companies who are quite big, Grant and Thornton and others. They are left and right appointing Indian chartered accountants in Middle East and even in USA. Tremendous. Plus, not only CPA firms, even advisory. So like that, you have international accounting firms, multinational corporations, financial institutions and banks. Believe me, in one of the best positions our chartered accountants are enjoying now is in financial institutions and banks, investment advisors, financial advisors, managing treasuries abroad, consulting firms, government and non-government organizations, teaching and training roles, and entrepreneurship and startups. The maximum role that a chartered accountant can now play is for startup, advising a client to how to start the startup and what are the tax benefits, how we can increase the valuation and in turn earn the money. So these are the areas where chartered accountants can give their services. So my second advice before I go to the next slide is, all particularly youngsters who have done their CA, please do number of other courses that have been provided by our institute. I was just given a card by a young chartered accountant. There were 7 degrees mentioned in that card. He has done ISA, he has done forensic accounting, and all other various courses that are provided by chartered. Please do that. If you acquire that expertise and knowledge, you will be in a position to provide much more than standard accounting and auditing advice or taxation advice. Global demand for chartered accountants. United Arab Emirates has maximum chartered accountants. Now let us go to the statistics. Out of 4 lakh plus chartered accountants, 40,000 chartered accountants are abroad. On record in institute around 30,000. 10,000 as usual off the record. Meaning thereby they don't want to show that they have gone abroad. They pay their fare in Indian rupees, so they don't pay in US dollar, which is more. हर जगह रुपया बचाने की जो आदत होती है ना, वो बहुत देरी से जाती है. So they continue to show their membership in India. They receive their journal online, so they don't want chartered accountant journal physically to be read. They read it in online. And they are not informing the institute that they are abroad. But effectively, 40,000 chartered accounts are abroad, meaning thereby 10% of the chartered accounts. If 10% of the chartered accountants are abroad, you can imagine if it just rises to 20%, there is a scope of another 40,000 chartered accountants. Chartered accountants are also in high demand in USA, Africa, which is the largest economy, USA, America, and largest economy in India, and USA are sharing a strong business relationship, which has resulted in large opportunities. About 7 to 8 chartered accountants who did CA with me, they all are in USA. And they are doing phenomenally well. But let me tell you equally, just like now, the statutory audit of a listed company has become so enormous, responsible and liable, with liabilities, answerability. Same way in USA, to have your degree of CPA, and then to have certificate of practice, and then to certify the listed company is extremely risky. Because even there is a smallest mistake or something wrong found out, there are suits filed of billions of dollars of rupees. I recognize the presence of Praful Chajal, the most young but most sincere Central Council member, and of course my dear friend, past council member, Jai Chaira. So I will ask Jai also that when he teaches the students, right from the studentship, tell him that after CA you are not going to be in India and you are going abroad. So his mindset is ready that yes, I am not meant to serve my country only, I will be able to serve foreigners and bring more foreign exchange to India. So that should be the thinking, that should be the mindset. Now coming to USA, I was telling you, yes, that there are many chartered accountants from Ahmedabad who have gone to USA and they are doing wonderfully well. But none of them are certifying a single public limited company. And as I told you, the reason is tremendous responsibility and liability attached. But there's a tremendous accounting work. And most of the chartered accountants are providing complete accounting work and taxation work. And in USA also, there is a company called HFO who have opened their counters in all shopping malls and big, where you get, multi kinds of shops in one place, malls. They have opened their stalls in malls and they file the return of income at $100. File your return, give the details, do the shopping. By the time you come back, your income tax return is ready. Just pay $100. That's why I quoted you 99 rupees. In India, people have started doing it. So, potential is there with regard to providing tremendous accounting knowledge, accounting work, and simultaneously tax work. So that's the biggest scope so far as USA is concerned. Key points. It is important to note that requirements and qualification may vary. So do you depend wherever you want to go, I'll take you to that particular presentation after this initial is over. Obtaining additional certifications or licenses such as CPA, as a ACCA, and enhance the prospects. Networking, building professional connections, and staying updated. Now let me use the latest example of Dubai. Dubai was totally tax-free country. Maybe a lot of arming money, a lot of illegal money were coming, all hawalas were happening in Dubai, and Dubai grew because of that. But now they've become strict. They have now Money Laundering Act in Dubai. So now those kind of illegal money transfer is just not possible in Dubai, or very difficult to do it. Then they introduced, before 5 years, VAT in Dubai. So tremendous opportunities for chartered accountant, and a lot of VAT work came. But unfortunately, I must say, with respect to our profession, just like in India, the prices there also went substantially down. The returns which they were filing for 1,000 dirham and 2,000 dirham now are being filed for 250 dirhams. Fine, that's a competition. But then one more opportunity. From 1st of July next year, 1st of January next year, they are introducing corporate tax. So all corporations who are established and incorporated in Middle East, UAE, they will have to pay corporate tax. So compulsory audit for them and compulsory filing of tax returns for them. Now imagine the growth there and demand there. And all these big fours and other big companies which I told you, they are taking ACCA. Licenses also Dubai government said will give it to ACCA and CPA and not to ICAI. So Aniket, Vice President, and others went there and they said, look at our syllabus, look at our exams, look at our standards of examination. Why you are permitting only ACCA and not CPA and not ICAI? And I'm really happy to tell you that just they have made the ministry convinced, and by the time the corporate tax is introduced and audit is introduced, our chartered accounts also will be given the license to practice there. So tremendous progress and growth for Indian chartered accountants in Middle East. Industry demand, already mentioned, multiracial corporation, financial institutions, and consulting firms. All Indian banks who have branches in Middle East, their chief accountant there are chartered accountants. And they are doing wonderfully well. And salaries paid also are very, very large. Specialized area, I already mentioned, international taxation, forensic accounting, internal audit. International taxation, we have the session after this. You must now acquire the knowledge about international taxation, as I told you, because Indian taxation has become absolutely simplified. 8 crore returns are filed, but 7 crore returns are processed and refunds are granted maybe within 24 hours to 24 days. Only balance 2, 3, 5% only are selected for scrutiny. Today we are on 25th June. 30th June is the last date for scrutiny under 143(2) notice. How many of you have received notices for scrutiny? Very few and very few notices as compared to the notices we used to receive in earlier times. Now what do we do after September when the return season is over? Tax audit season is over. Why not concentrate, focus, and give time for the international taxation and thinking about going abroad? Now, there are 195 countries in the world. 195 countries. But I have selected a very nice, sweet 16 figures for you. 16 countries I am going to make presentation where we have, Institute of Charting of India, have done MRA, Mutual Recognition Agreement. We have tied up with them, pass 1 or 2 papers there, and you get the degree in those countries. You get the license to practice in those countries, and you get a very good job offers if you have the degree of that respective country. And let us start with Kenya. Country established, we had Kenya ICPAK, 1978. Several business owned and managed by Asians. Institute has signed the MRA, as I told you, MOU in the year 2019. Signing of MOU between ICAI and IPAC would facilitate collaborate approach to identify opportunities. Now you must be knowing hundreds of Indians are there in Kenya. 70% of trade, commerce and business of import and export are with Indians. And at least 6 to 7 articles of mine After passing, they have gone to Kenya and they have earned so much that they are parking their funds in UK. Because Kenya and certain African countries are considered to be, you never know what is going to happen tomorrow. So they are parking their funds in UK besides sending in India. But tremendous demand in this country. You have to take a call that I am a fair skin, I am white. Do I go in that people where everybody is black, everything is black, and do I do the practice there or not? So my suggestion is yes, Kenya has tremendous opportunities, and believe me, I'm not exaggerating. The businessmen in Kenya literally worship the chief accountant in the industry. Literally worship. Because morning to evening they are busy in their business, buying, selling, stocking, inventory, foreign traveling, discussing. And entire responsibility is thrown upon the chief accountant, the financial controller. And he's so trusted person that salary is not at all a criteria. You name it and you get it. That's the psychology there. We have to now change our psychology. That yes, if he has capacity to pay, do I have that capacity and guts to demand? And if you have it, you get it. Kuwait. Kuwait chapter of ICAI inaugurated on 19th April 2006. Kuwait chapter has been set up to facilitate professional development. Members are having opportunities both in industry as well as professionals. Institute of CA signed MOU with Kuwait accountants in November 2019. So all these developments have happened since last 5 years, you can see. Only with Australia and UK when I was there, and subsequently other 2-3 countries. Otherwise, in last 5-7 years, many MRAs have happened. So Kuwait is another place where same kind of opportunities I mentioned with regard to the UAE. Oman, ICAI Muscat chapter. I was fortunate to visit Muscat when I was president, and there are more than, at that time there were more than 1,200 chartered accountants in Muscat. Now maybe more than 2,000 or 2,500 in Muscat. A lot of chartered accountants are there in Muscat. And mind well, all these places which I am suggesting are not far, so far as the traveling is concerned. So any urgent call from your family, any urgent necessity develops in India, so as to rush to India, you are India within 7 to 8 hours. And for some other countries, hardly 4 to 5 hours. So nothing to worry on that. Qatar, Doha, another very good place. I had been also there in Qatar. Qatar also, there are many Indian chartered accountants. And lot many from Rajasthan, lot many from Gujarat, and plenty of them from South. But I've observed that in all these countries, which are in this area, UAE, maximum chartered accountants from South India are traveling. But unfortunately, as I told you, we Gujaratis, sticking to Mayan Mitti, are still not open that much. But Qatar, Doha is another area where economy is booming and a lot of opportunities for accounting work and international taxation work. This is, I can say, friends, literally पैसों की बारिश हो रही है Saudi Arabia में. If anyone wants to go now, anytime better than Dubai, anytime better than Doha, Muscat, Saudi Arabia is a place where, as you all know, the king died before 2.5 years. And the new king who took over, his son, is so young and so dynamic that he wants Saudi to be second Dubai. A straight road of 210 kilometers, 8 lanes on both the sides. 16 lanes road is being built up. And best of the buildings on both the sides will be coming on that road. So as you see in Dubai, various multi-story buildings in Dubai, that will be seen in Saudi Arabia within next 5 years' time. And there's a tremendous demand. A lot of construction people are there. All Indian big companies, from L&T to Parsi, that company owned by Sapurji Palanji, and many Indian companies are doing construction work there. Most of the labor are Indians. Most of the engineers are Indian. But most of the chartered accountants, unfortunately, are not Indian. And we have tremendous, tremendous potential in Saudi Arabia. You know, Saudi Arabia, earlier people were not going because it was very risky. If you look at a girl, your eyes will be taken out. If you touch your hand to a girl, your hand will be cut off. And that seriousness was there with regard to the closeness with ladies. Ladies were not allowed to go without burqa outside. Burqa is removed. Ladies were not allowed to drive. Driving is allowed. Ladies were not allowed to go in the restaurants. Now, discos and clubs have opened in Saudi Arabia. Overnight change can happen in this kind of rigid country. Why should we still remain rigid and not leave India and go abroad? And I'll come to my own experience. આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહેવત હતી ને પેલો સાધુ પાસે જાય છે માં એના દીકરાને લઈને કે સાહેબ ગોળ બહુ ખા કરે છે એને કંઈક સલાહ આપો ને તો કે મહિના પછી આવજો અને મહિના પછી આવે છે ત્યારે સાધુ એને સલાહ આપે છે કે બેટા ગોળ ના ખવાય ગોળથી આમ થાય તેમ થાય તો માએ કહ્યું કે 1 મહિના પહેલાં કેમ સલાહ ના આપી તો કહ્યું કે હું ગોળ ખાતો હતો મને ટેવ હતી મેં મારી ટેવ સુધારી પછી હું બીજાને સલાહ આપું છું એટલે આજે હું જ્યારે તમને સલાહ આપું છું ત્યારે મારો અનુભવ પણ બી તમારી જોડે શેર કરીશ એટલે તમને એમ ના લાગે કે આ કહેવા માટે કહે છે પોતે અહીંયા બેઠા છે. Tanzania, another African country, tremendous development. You know, some of these African countries, friend, let me tell you, if you have opportunity to visit, if you are free after September, visit these countries first. They are better in scenic, they are better in all other aspects compared to many European countries. But because of that typical African culture, and even today, it is risky to travel in the evening. After 6 o'clock, you cannot wear costly watch, you cannot wear gold ornaments and walk on the road. That risk is still there. But you have to forget, after 6 o'clock, stay in the home, enjoy. Why you want to go on the road? Uganda. There are around 100 active members. Earlier there were just 10 during my time. But now people are going. Uganda, Idi Amin, you will all recall immediately, and what happened to people. But now they have realized that one bad ban, one bad event, and the country had been absolutely finished. So now they want to redevelop themselves. So culture is changing there. Uganda also, a lot of Indian businessmen, many Patels, many from Kutch have settled down there and doing roaring business. The Indian origin community has been in Uganda for more than 100 years, contributing more than 60% of GDP there. Imagine, 60% of the revenue is controlled by Indians. So tremendous development and potential besides agriculture and pharmaceutical and construction and energy, for finance, information technology, education and hospitality. And friends, I am involved in this because, as you all know, I had been in Service Export Promotion Council for 6 years, was vice chairman for the last 2 years, and since 2 years I am chairman. I'll be handing over in the September. And we know what is the potential for India to export the services in these countries. And I'll come to that aspects in the later part of the presentation. So Bahrain is another where we have the chapter where we have Indian chartered accountants. Bahrain is home to more than 400 licensed financial institutions representing a rich mix of international, regional, and local names. Now, all these financial institutions are in need of money. And if they engage, pardon me for using this word, if they engage white skin, they charge 3 times more salary than what we demand. And we are happy with that 1/3 salary of what they are getting. And that's why they are inviting Indians. But as of now, that affection of white skin, as many boys have for their to-be wife, same way in these countries, they have still that attraction of white skin as compared to Indian scale of. But then we have to win them not by presenting our skin, but by presenting our skill. And if we do that, they will be engaging us in a very big way. UAE. As I told you, when I went first time, when I was contesting the election, I was told you should go to UAE also, because there are many chartered accountants from Gujarat who will be voting for you. So I specially went to UAE, and I met many Indian chartered accountants who are doing really fantastic practice. I mean, I remember, I'm talking of 1999, and when I was looking at their office, આપણે ગુજરાતમાં કહે ને આંખો ચાર થઈ જાય, એટલી અદ્ભુત, fantastic, fashionably designed offices એમની હતી in 1999. Now many chartered accountants have huge offices, very well furnished, and providing all kinds of service. Incorporation of company in Dubai, incorporation of LLC in Dubai, providing VAT services, getting you license, getting you golden visa, getting you licenses for industry, getting your factory set up, getting your business set up, then doing your audit. Because audit is necessary if you want to borrow from the banks. So banks insist for that. So for that, limited audit services are also there. And then, of course, as I told you, the corporate tax is coming in UAE, and there's a tremendous scope. When I went in 1990 and 2000, and when I was president in 2007, the average salary that was given by a chartered accountant firm to Indian CA, fresh, young, was 3,000 to 4,000 dirham. But at that time, Dubai was not expensive. Now, Dubai has become very expensive, extremely expensive. And now, the minimum salary that an Indian chartered accountant gets in UAE is 9,000 dirhams. 9,000 multiplied by 22. That's the minimum salary. But if you deduct your house rent allowance and your food cost and your traveling cost, the saving would be around 30 to 35 or 40%. But that 9,000, 10,000 is for beginning. But good chartered accountants showing his skill and demonstrating his, intelligence also, would minimum, on an average, will get around 20,000 dirhams. And then you don't spend more than 7 to 8,000 dirham, even if you live comfortably. Balance can be remitted to India or saved or invested as you deem fit. Hong Kong is another place, but now Chinese are dominating there. So not many Indian chartered accountants are going to Hong Kong, but Hong Kong is still a place where food is certainly a problem, unlike all these countries where I said Indian food is easily available. But we have chapter in Hong Kong, and people are settled in Hong Kong. Singapore. I was there just last week, and I was there when I was president. And believe me, when I was invited there in the institute, and when my taxi took me there, I was waiting to watch where is the board of Institute of Singapore. No board anywhere available. I was told, go on the 4th floor, the institute office is there. And I went to the 4th floor, and trust me, the office was quite small, smaller than many chartered accountants who are having offices in Surat and Institute of Singapore, chartered accountant. So I was really surprised. I said, this is your branch office or a desk office? No, no, this is the main office. Now that Singapore refused to sign MRA with us, as Aniket mentioned you yesterday. And when they came to Mumbai, participated in the international conference, saw our BKC building, and when they asked, the entire is yours. And as Aniket mentioned yesterday, we have 100 such buildings. One of them now is coming in Ahmedabad also. They were literally shocked, flabbergasted, that if this is the strength of your chartered accountants in India, we don't want to think anything. And within 7 days, they sent a mail. Any chartered accountant who comes to Singapore, stays for 180 days, COP, certificate of practice, will be issued to him. See the image and see the strength of our institute. I thought you will all clap. Yeah. That is the strength. That is the recognition. And we have to encash that. Now they are inviting us. If we don't go, you can't tell that I didn't go and I missed the bus. Catch the earliest flight, go to Singapore, explore, have vacation with your family also, and then take a decision whether you want to settle down there or not. These are the 3 countries which are maximum in demand. જેને યુએસનો visa ના મળે, ઓસ્ટ્રેલિયાનો visa લઈ આવે. You are aware of it. Majority of the youngsters. યુએસનો visa ના મળે તો કેનેડાનો visa લઈ આવે. But trust me, I had been to Australia more than 3 to 4 times. This is the country where there is a huge land. And people are less than what the total population of Gujarat is. Narendra Modi mentioned day before, our Indian trains daily transfers the total passengers more than the total people in Australia. એટલા લોકો ખાલી રેલવેમાં ઇન્ડિયામાં રોજ સફર કરે. That's what Modi's statement 2 days before. Now, with that limited people available, they are as lazy as, let me with respect mention, all those sitting here don't feel bad, like Bengali peoples or Assami people. બેંગલમાં જાઓ તમે, હું આજથી 20 વર્ષ પહેલાં ગયેલો, 4 વાગ્યાનો ટાઈમ હતો, ROCમાં ગયો હતો. And I had some work with the register of company. તો ખાલી લાગે અને 2-4 જણા બેઠા હતા. हमको साहब ऑल द वे हैव कम फ्रॉम अहमदाबाद. अरे ये कोई आने का टाइम है? आज मैच चल रही है मोहन बेगान की, फुटबॉल मैच चल रही है और आप इधर आ रहे हो? कल आना. ઊભા થવાની બી એ લોકોમાં તસ્દી નથી, and that culture is still there. So there are people who have inbuilt culture of taking it easy life because they have a lot of money, lot of land, lot of other earned income available to them. And Australians therefore are very keen that they get really hard-working people. And in the world, let me tell you, except some Philippines, except some in Chinese, there are no people in world who are more hardworking than Indians. And at least when it comes to chartered accountants, we are the most hardworking profession in the world. That is a story. So if Australia is long travel, expensive place, expensive both for traveling and for staying, but reward is fantastic. When I was there as a president and I visited, I still remember a young couple came and met me. And they were so happy that someone from the institute has come and addressed them. And then he took me to his house, he took me to a nice restaurant. And when I asked him with regard to the reward and money, they said, sir, we are much, much happy than what we think even at the age of 50 or 55 we would have earned in India. That they were earning at the age of 29 and 30. That is the financial reward available in Australia. So you have to take a call that whether you want to settle in this large country also or not. Netherlands, you will be surprised. 90% of the work from Netherlands, which is coming to India, it is coming to a firm of chartered accountant in Ahmedabad. And believe me, he was my article. I don't have a single client from Netherlands. But he is having 90% of the Netherlands people coming in India, and they are being served by Indian chartered accountants. They are telling that please send people to Netherlands. We need good chartered accountants. We need good accountants. And friend, trust me, don't think it that if I'm a chartered accountant, I cannot do accounting work. Accounting work is equally important. It's not necessary that someone prepares the account, brings to you, you feel, yes, fine, true and fair, and I certify it, give by signature, then only I'm a chartered accountant. You must be willing to serve in any area. If you can file GST return, if you can file income tax return, why not you involve yourself in finalization and preparing the accounts? Of course, you can't prepare and certify both. Canada, already mentioned, country where there is tremendous cool atmosphere, snow is there for a number of months. So those who are not accustomed to winter may not prefer, but subject to that, Canada is another area where many chartered accountants are there. Toronto chapter is extremely active. Those who are member in those groups, which are international groups, you will find them. They are doing a lot of activities, and there are tremendous area in Canada. USA, कुछ बोलने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है. World's richest country. Lot of charterings are going on there. But as I mentioned in the beginning, CPA is must there. If you are not CPA, you are not invited anywhere. But let me tell you, very honestly, sincerely, and confidently, if you have passed the exam of Institute of Chartered of India, the exam of CPA, or exam of ACCA, or exam of AICPA, you can pass it along with your work. It is that simple for us. जिसने ICAI की एग्जाम पास कर दी ना, वो वर्ल्ड में कोई भी एग्जाम पास कर सकता है. So getting CPA degree is not at all a problem, not at all difficulty. Do that, and you have tremendous potential. Maldives, very near, new area. Again, people are calling from Indian peoples. Maldives में बीच का भी मजा है और काम करने का भी मजा है. So friend, these are the 16 countries where, as I told you, ICAI have done MRA, ICAI have their chapters, and we have Indian chartered accountants working there. As I mentioned, out of 4 lakh chartered accountants, 40,000 chartered accountants are abroad, 10%. दिल से बता रहा हूँ, after this presentation, if 10% of what you are here decide to go and genuinely travel abroad and go and settle, I will feel, yes, my labor and my presentation is worth. So I will wish you do that, think over. And when I say think over, particularly to all proprietors and youngsters, मेरी 10 लाख की तो रिसीट है, 25 लाख की तो रिसीट है, मैं क्यों छोड़ के जाऊँ? That 25 lakh is nothing. And as mentioned, there are people who are willing to take over. Even let me tell you openly, when I'm interested in taking over some proprietor's practice if available in Surat. So you will get the buyers of your practice, sell your practice, and take a bold decision. You may be successful 99.9%. If your luck does not favor, you are basically a chartered accountant, and that too from institute. Come back to India, इधर तो line लगी है आपके लिए. जिसको practice बेची है, वो भी आपको partner वापस ले लेगा. So that is not to be worried. So don't hesitate to take a bold decision. And I'm mentioning this like a fatherly advice, that you need someone to literally boost your morale, give you encouragement. That बोलना easy है, ठीक है चले जाओ मालदीव या चले जाओ अफ्रीका जाके करूँगा क्या, वो सोचना ही मत. जाओ और देखो कि क्या क्या आप कर सकते हो. That's the potential available. So let me conclude this aspect of shifting physically there. And now, last 10 minutes for providing services sitting in India. And as I told you, COVID taught us, and prior to COVID also, people had been doing it. But after COVID and after joining SUPC, I have seen unbelievable growth in KPO and BPO being done by chartered accountants. We have 17 firms in Ahmedabad who are providing this kind of services, sitting in Ahmedabad, engaging chartered accountants and doing accounting and auditing and taxation services to USA, UK, Australia and Canada. These are the main 4 countries. Unfortunately, other countries are not being done because of the language problem. And Piyush ji will confirm, Institute is shouting and telling, please come and join our international language classes. Institute has started classes to teach you foreign language, foreign accounting, foreign software. जिसको टैली आती है, उसको यूएसए का और ऑस्ट्रेलिया का सॉफ्टवेयर जीरो बोलते हैं, आसानी से आ सकता है. वो सॉफ्टवेयर पे ही अकाउंटिंग लिखना है. So it's extremely simple. One of the oldest firm of Chartered of Ahmedabad, his son, he started this 20 years before. Of course, he had his own Sadhu Bhai living in USA, in Australia, and then he started giving you work. And then the work fetches the work. The expertise and demonstration of his work being done, it's this kind of counters which I told you, which will be there in Glopec. That would allow others to know that yes, he is a chartered accountant who does these services. That chartered accountant started with 20 persons. Today, he has 2,700 persons working with him, exclusively doing accounting work from USA, Australia and UK. 2,700 people, more than 300 chartered accountants. And looking at this, many other chartered accountants started. And there are, as I told you, 17 firms which are doing this. We have been doing this also since last 15 years, but on a different level. We don't do accounting work, we don't do that BPO work, we are doing KPO work. Meaning thereby we not only do the accounting, but we do complete auditing aspects also. And we see that all accounting standards of that USA are complied with. So moment our work go there, the partner has to just review, and then next day he can put his signature. So this kind of work is also available. It's more financially rewarded, but more burdensome, more liable, with liability. But as I told you, there are different kinds of work and different kinds of opportunities. Now, how to do that? It's very simple. Chalo baithe baithe. First and foremost, you have to learn is the software of those countries. And as I told you, very simple, you can do it. Second is exclusive infrastructure. मैं GST भी करूँगा, मैं इंटर ऑडिट भी करूँगा, मैं स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट भी करूँगा, मैं डिपार्टमेंट भी जाऊँगा, and मैं accounting भी करूँगा. Just not possible. You have to exclusively separate yourself or your staff or your partners for that work exclusively. He will not do anything else than that work. That's the second most important thing. There may be some area, some time when he's totally free. You have to allow him to be free, but can't involve him. That's not just allowed. That Ahmedabadi thinking, please don't bring it in the practice. That's the second important thing. Third most important thing is confidentiality. You cannot have those computers and that office along with your audit practice and your routine practice offices. It has to be separate, exclusive office. In my office, I'm not allowed to enter that premises where this accounting work is going on. Everyone is given a special card, and that person only can enter. No one is allowed even to see and look at what is that person doing. And the technology. Just like yesterday Aniket mentioned, in examination, Praful again is in the, Shajan is in the examination committee also. They have been given the papers online, and they have to check it on computer. Their photo is seen that they are examining. And if they finish before 18 minutes, they would doubt that it's either subcontract पे दे दिया है, तो immediately पकड़ा जाएगा face पे से, और जल्दी कर दिया है, then immediately yes, compromise the standard of examining and quality of that. So it will be caught. Same way they are giving tremendous strict softwares that if that person or that girl moves from his chair and goes somewhere out, and if that computer is silent for 10 minutes without photo, it will be shut down, and next day your contract will be cancelled. That is the strictness. So strictness and confidentiality, the third aspect. And fourth is, as I told you, an element of spending first and earning later. खर्चा पहले करो, बाद में कमाई होगी. अब तक हमारे में क्या था, फी आएगी उसके बाद एक छोटा सा कंप्यूटर लेंगे, दूसरी फी आएगी तो नई चेयर लेंगे, और तीसरी फी आएंगी तो एक और बढ़िया फर्नीचर बनाएंगे. नो, पहले जगह लो, पहले फर्नीचर बनाओ, पहले कंप्यूटर बनाओ, then start international work. And trust me, you will get it. But let me caution you, not that easily. It is not everyone's cup of tea. What is important is some context and some basis. हो सकता है आपका साला फॉरेन में है, आपका बनेवी फॉरेन में है, आपका दोस्त फॉरेन में है, या आपका कलीग फॉरेन में. बट कोई ना कोई तो चाहिए. ऐसे ही बैठे बैठे इधर आप प्राइस वाटर हाउस यूएसए को मेल करेंगे, वो खोलेंगे भी नहीं. जवाब तो भूल ही जाओ, वो खोलेंगे भी नहीं वो मेल, इतने मेल उनको आते हैं. So you cannot get work just by sending mails to different firm of CPAs and consulting firms. You need to have some contact, basically to enter and put your foot, and in turn get contacts. Moment the person has basically faith and some confidence that here is a person who can deliver. He has staff, he has office premises, he has softwares, he has hardware, and is competent, then they will visit your office. Either they will visit personally, or they have their representatives in India who will come and do the audit. And when I say audit, they will do everything. Right from your peer review from institute, to entire your setup, your knowledge, your accounting, your capability to handle the software, everything. And once they are satisfied, then they will send the trial work. Once the trial work is finished, then the regular work will start. And believe me, friends, once the regular work will start, you will not get time to come on this Sunday and listen to people like me. आप इतने busy हो जाओगे, इतना काम मिलेगा. That is the quantum of work available. क्यों? क्योंकि मैंने बताया ये ऑस्ट्रेलिया, यूके, यूएसए में यंगस्टर्स को सीए वाली मेहनत वाली एग्ज़ाम देनी नहीं है, और एग्ज़ाम पास हो गया तो मेहनत करनी नहीं है, और मेहनत करनी भी है तो मंडे टू फ्राइडे तक. फ्राइडे दोपहर में तो वो हिलने लगते हैं. So that non-availability of task force in these countries will allow you substantial work, because the cost, I'm not saying we are cheap, but the cost which they pay to their CPAs, their CAs, and what they would pay to us willingly, which we will be quote, will be just 30%, maximum 40%. So they are saving 50 to 60%, 10% additional administration and other cost add kar do. So at 50%, they got double the work, and the quality has to be maintained, as I told you. तो जो काम वो 5.5 दिन में करते हैं, हम लोग 3 दिन में करके उनको दे सकते हैं. And second biggest advantage, they send you the work in the evening, so it is morning here. You do the work from morning to evening, send it to them. When they open their office, the work ready-made is available on their computer. What more do they want? So there's a tremendous potential. And at Service Export Promotion Council, when I joined as a chairman, the total export of service was $150 billion. When my interview was taken, I said we will reach to $250 billion. When the second year came, when our interview was taken, I said we'll reach to 325 billion. Mr. Piyush Goyal, who is in charge of our ministry, literally got angry with me. ये सुनील भी ये क्या बैठे बैठे आप फिगर दे रहे हो 325 बिलियन कैसे होगा तो मैंने बोला I see the potential, I see what is how accounting is going, how medical tourism is going, how hotel business is going. Now COVID period is over. And friends, believe me, we crossed 325 billion by March 23. That is the potential of export. As of now, the merchandise export is more than service export. Take it from me today, 25th June 2023, 11:30 a.m. Within 2 years, we will cross $500 billion in export of service. That's the potential of rendering services outside India. And who will render it? None else than chartered accountants. Be it IT services, be it financial services, be it accounting services, or be it taxation services. We are the people who can give this. In fact, that's what for which I am here today. I am not at all afraid. Or my friend for whom I am telling you, he is also not afraid. कोई किसी का इधर जैसे छीन लेता है ना, मैं 5,000 में करता हूँ, अगर मैं 6,000 फी करूँगा, तो दूसरा ले जाएगा 4,500 में. वो भीति, वो डर इसमें है ही नहीं. ये पूरा दरिया पड़ा है. ये छोटा सा तालाब या नदी नहीं है, तापी नदी जिसमें अभी तो पानी होता होगा, नहीं तो 11 महीने पानी नहीं होता था. ये पूरा समुंदर पड़ा है. That is the potential available. It is for us to take a call. It is for us to be prepared. It is for us to take a bold decision and in turn demonstrate that yes, Indian chartered accountants are the best chartered accountants in the world, friend. So let me conclude by the 4 lines which I used to mention in my journal, friends, and you must have that feeling and element of your sincerity toward institute. I adore my profession. I salute my institute. I respect my council, and I'm proud to be a chartered accountant, friends. Thank you. Thank you so much. If there are questions for 5 of the house, most welcome. Don't ask me how much fees I am getting.
Please be seated. There is a question answer round if anyone has to ask any questions. Yes, उदावत सर को प्लीज माइक दीजिए. क्वेश्चन आंसर मिस कर देंगे, कैसे कमाना है, कितनी फीस लेनी है, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन तो वही है.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर. आपने एनकरेज किया सबको, यंगस्टर को अब्रॉड जाने के लिए. मेरा सन सीए दिलीप सिंह उदावत दुबई में 2015 में 6,000 दिराम में गया था, मंथली सैलरी थी. 2022 में लैंड क्रूज मेंटेन कर रहे हैं और इस साल सर 2023 अभी 15 डेज पहले फ्लैट ले लिया सर दुबई के अंदर. तो बच्चों सबको, यंगस्टर को मैं कहूँगा कि अच्छा स्कोप है, यू शुड गो.
थैंक यू.
वेरी गुड एग्जाम्पल. बाहर कितनी अपॉर्चुनिटी है उसका. थैंक यू उदावत सर. माइक पीछे.
Sunil bhai, recently I had been to Australia and I tried to contact Melbourne chapter of institute. They had no own office. I mean, no chapter had no office. So it was run from one of the members. My suggestion is that please instruct all chapter heads to support chartered accountants who come there, who contact them for work or other inquiries.
Yes.
So it is only requirement.
No, I appreciate. Let me tell you, when Ahmedabad branch was opened, My father, H.M. Talati, was the first chairman. And office of Ahmedabad branch was run from his office. So that's how the things start. If you're small, you can't afford the cost of having an office independent in foreign countries where the rent is prohibitive. And Praful Chajad would endorse my view. What happens if you give them some autonomy? Now UAE people are behaving as if there is a separate UAE Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So that autonomy is also sometimes dangerous. So we are striking a balance and doing it. Yes, please.
Please mic to them.
सर जैसे आपने बताया कि वी द न्यू चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट शुड स्टार्ट द ओवरसीज प्रैक्टिस, तो सर इसको स्टार्ट कैसे करें? जैसे मेरा मन है 6 महीने 8 महीने 1 साल से लास्ट की, मैं माय ब्रदर इज आल्सो एन ऑस्ट्रेलियन पीआर होल्डर एंड ही इज गॉट द सिटीजनशिप नेक्स्ट ईयर एज वेल. सो कैसे स्टार्ट करें इसको प्रैक्टिस को, कि कैसे वी शुड विजिट अब्रॉड जाएंगे तो वी शुड मतलब कैसे उनसे कॉन्टैक्ट्स करें? आपने कहा कि कोई वहाँ पे कॉन्टैक्ट होना चाहिए, बट सर मैंने काफ़ी लोगों से बातचीत की वहाँ पे सीएस जो हैं, बट दे आर नॉट मतलब कह रहे हैं हम तो जॉब कर रहे हैं बस.
देखो ऐसा है कि ये 3 जगह पे जाना है आपको, यूएसए, यूके, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, कनाडा, तो सीधा आपको कोई भी जॉब नहीं देगा. बहुत सही बात है. बट यू हैव टू कॉन्टेक्ट ए चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट फर्म हु इज एन इंडियन चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट एंड इज इन नीड ऑफ ए चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट. और वो दूसरों को $5,000 देगा, आपको 1500 की ऑफर करेगा. क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली तो वही अहमदाबादी और इंडियन ब्लड है कि उसको आना है तो जिसको जितना उसको चूज सकूँ उतना चूज लूँगा. तो इनिशियली यू हैव टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड दैट आई विल बी एक्सप्लोर्ड, बट एट सेक्रीफाइसिंग दैट आप 6 बार महीना वहाँ काम करेंगे तो यू विल कम इन टू कॉन्टेक्ट ऑफ सो मेनी अदर इंडियन एज वेल एज नॉन इंडियन कंपनीज हु विल बी विलिंग टू एंगेज यू एंड अपॉइंट यू. देखो जाते ही आप सोचो कि फर्स्ट क्लास लेदर की चेयर में बैठ जाऊँ, सामने कंप्यूटर मिलेगा, हाँ 9 से 5 काम करो, नहीं होना है. यू हैव टू स्ट्रगल एंड वर्क हार्ड. But once you do that for 3, 6, 12 months, doors will be wide open. That I can assure you.
सर जैसे जो ये एमआरए के थ्रू, जैसे सीपीए ऑस्ट्रेलिया का एमआरए इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ, सो इज दिस बेटर वे टू गो कि पहले यहाँ से सीपीए करके जाएं?
या वो तो आप एमआरए है, वहाँ जाके वो एग्ज़ाम दे दो. ऑनलाइन भी एग्ज़ाम होती है, ऑनलाइन एग्ज़ाम दे दो. आप पास हो गए तो इमीडिएटली आपको वहाँ जाने की परमिशन मिल जाएगी, वीज़ा इमीडिएटली मिल जाएगा इफ़ यू पास द एग्ज़ाम. एंड देन ट्राई योर लक. ये जो अफ्रीका में सब गए ना, नहीं बोलते थे हमारे जमाना में कि दोरी लोटा लेके गए थे, दोरी लोटा लेके गए, रहने की जगह नहीं थी, आज करोड़पति अबजपति हो गए. तो जाने के बाद थोड़ा तो स्ट्रगल करना ही है. वो स्मूथ सेलिंग नहीं है. इधर आप जैसे गाड़ी में उतरेंगे आदमी आपके लिए दरवाजा खोलेगा, वो सब वहाँ नहीं है. वो मेहनत करनी है आपको, रसोई आपकी खुद बनानी है, कपड़े आपने अपने आप धोना है. तो वो सब मेंटली प्रिपेयर्डनेस होनी चाहिए.
2 more questions only, please. Thank you.
सर हमारा जो ऑस्ट्रेलियन सीपीए के साथ एमआर है उसमें 2 सब्जेक्ट है, एक ग्लोबल स्ट्रेटेजी है. सर वहाँ पे अगर आपको जो टैक्सेशन पार्ट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस करना है तो टैक्सेशन के जो अलग से 2 पेपर है, तो क्या हम मतलब ऐसा प्रपोजल मतलब आपके साइड से वो कर सकते हैं कि वो जो एक्चुअली जो हमको काम करना है वहाँ पे, तो टैक्सेशन पार्ट भी हमारे मतलब कुछ एग्जाम्शन में मतलब या कुछ जो 2 पेपर है जो देना है उसमें टैक्सेशन पार्ट इंक्लूड हो पाए?
सजेशन सुनने में बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. मैं ऑनरेबल प्रेसिडेंट अरिकेत तलाटी को बात करूंगा. प्रफुल्ल जी भी इधर बैठे हैं, उनसे भी निवेदन करता हूँ, यू कैन टेक अप दिस इन काउंसिल. बट आई डाउट वेदर ऑस्ट्रेलिया सीपीए वुड बी रेडी फॉर दैट, बट वी कैन स्टार्ट नेगोशिएशन.
Sir, this side.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Myself, Monak Padmani. Sir, question is with respect to recently we have seen foreign law firms have been allowed to settle down their practice in India. Similarly, when it comes to ICAI, when are we looking at international networking guidelines? Like I have seen various firms becoming part of an international network and cross-exchanging their services. So how far are we seeing where Indian CA firms will be allowed to, collaborate and have us network as a networking model? Like currently we have an Indian firms forming an affiliate or a network. When will we be able to, settle that thing abroad with foreign firms?
This is a very good question, and let me tell you कि लेने और देने के काटले जो बोलते हैं ना, सेम होने चाहिए. अगर आपको ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाके प्रैक्टिस करनी है, अगर आपको यूके जाके प्रैक्टिस करनी है, तो आपको यूके की फर्म को भी इंडिया में प्रैक्टिस करनी पड़ेगी. And thanks to council, thanks to sincere members like Praful Chajad, Aniket and others, that they have been able to resist and convince Indian Ministry of Company Affairs that in spite of WTO agreement, chapter 11 I think, in spite of WTO agreement, we will not allow foreign CPA and CA firms to practice in India unless there is reciprocity. जो लिबर्टी उनको इंडिया में मिलेगी वो मुझे वहाँ जाके मिलेगी तो वही हम करने देंगे और वो कोई देश करने के लिए तैयार नहीं है. उनको पता है कि आप जैसे 4 लोग वहाँ जाके प्रैक्टिस खोलेंगे तो 10 लोगों की दुकान बंद हो जाएगी.
Probably Praful sir can share more on this.
With your permission, sir, I'll just answer him. We have recently, the council has approved, Indian government is in process of signing a free trade agreements with UK and Canada. Both, you may have heard in the papers also, Mr. Modi is trying to sign it. So one of the is opening up of audit also in that, and council has already approved that on the basis of reciprocity, if they permit that yes, we are allowed without, there is no visa restrictions, free allowability is there that you can go and practice over there, then we will also permit to them. So UK and Canada would shortly be coming in once FTA is signed by the government. That's all.
Thank you, Praful sir.
Thank you, sir.
And let me tell you, in legal practice also, Bar Council has said we will not permit them to appear and argue in courts. They are allowed to do only table practice, drafting and consultation.
And sir, small clarification on that only, just a small, like we have seen many firms showcasing as a part of an international network. Is it within the permits of ICAI or is it ethically not permissible? Just want to
The
understand.
matter is under active consideration of council.
That is
The authorized person is sitting here, but with his dimmed permission, let me tell you, as of now, disciplinary notices have been issued, hearings are going on, the wisdom of council will prevail, and the decision will be taken.
Thank you so much, sir, for your clarification.
And
Thank you so much.
one last question from me, please, sir. Sir, મારો question છે. Sir, તમે એમ જેમ કીધું કે for taking KPO or BPO work, we must equip ourselves with the softwares which are required to get accounting work and with the knowledge like accounting standards. So, એનું કોઈ sir common source છે ICAI નું? There are third parties, obviously, Zero છે, QuickBooks છે, the third party na through we can gather knowledge. But એક single portal કોઈ છે જેમાંથી we can gather all this knowledge?
With highest respect to you, let me tell you, friends, આખા વર્લ્ડમાં છે ને આપણી આ એક જ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ ઓફ ચાર્ટર્ડ એકાઉન્ટન્ટ્સ એવી છે જે સીએ થયા પછી બી મેમ્બરોને કે ભાઈ તું આ શીખ, તું આ લે, તું આ કર. વર્લ્ડમાં કોઈ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ, મોમેન્ટ યુ પાસ ધ એક્ઝામ, યુ આર થ્રોન ઓપન ઇન ધ ઓશન. તારે જે કરવું એ કર, તારી તાકાત છે તો કર, ના હોય તો ઘેર જા. આપણે જ અહીંયા બધા મેમ્બરોને હા ભાઈ તું સોફ્ટવેર શીખ, હા ભાઈ તું હવે ફોરેન્સિક શીખ, હા ભાઈ તું હવે પેલું તમારું શું કહે છે IFRS શીખો. વોટ ઇઝ ધીસ? વાય યુ એક્સપેક્ટ? કેનેડીનું સેન્ટેન્સ યાદ કરો. ડોન્ટ આસ્ક ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ વોટ કેન ડુ ફોર યુ, આસ્ક વોટ યુ કેન ડુ ફોર ધ ઇન્સ્ટિટ્યૂટ. દેટ શુડ બી ધ સ્પિરિટ.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, Nisha, take over.
Now